Hello, welcome to Springfield-Clark CTC Engineering and Architectural Drafting orientation video. I want to welcome everybody to the 2020-2021 school year. I have a series of things that I'm going to go over with you guys today to kind of ease your way back into the school year. First things first, I would like to go over our schedule a little bit. We are going to be meeting on August 26th at 7:42, which is a Wednesday. We're going to meet here at the CTC, and we're only going to be in this laboratory, so students will not transfer classes throughout the school day. You guys will enter through the main entry doors here at the school, which are located as soon as you pull into the school, right in the front. So if you just keep driving, as you pull in, there's like a little thing called a bus circle, and those main doors right at the front of the school will be our entry point. There are a lot of things that are available on our website right now, and one of those things will be a map, and you guys can see that very clearly online if you look at that. The second thing I would like to do is kind of talk to you a little bit about the first week. The first week is going to look a little bit different than it ever has. We're going to be meeting, like I said, on Wednesday, if you're the junior class, and then again on Friday. So we will have school 2 times this week as we go throughout. Okay, so the schedule looks something like this for the first couple days. Um, you will be from 7:50 to pretty much 11:31. You will be located here in my classroom, which is C201. You will have a lunch period, which we're going to move right next door to Mr. King, and this is Mr. King right here. You're going to move next door to his classroom, and you'll have lunch in there. And then we will return for the second half of the day back to my classroom. And as we move in and out the lab, we will clean our hands. As you can see, kind of from the background, the lab has been set up so we still have a little bit of social distancing going on, and we do have protectors between each one of the systems so that the kids aren't sitting literally right on top of each other, which is a really good thing for us to have here. On Wednesday, that will be the schedule. The same exact schedule will happen then again on Friday. So we will have 2 classes this upcoming week, the 26th and the 28th. We will be in here for that allotted time. And then as we move into the following week, you guys will only have school on Monday and Tuesday. Again, all day in here with me, except for lunch. And then on Wednesday, we will have online school starting with me, where you guys will log in remotely. I will be here in the classroom. I will meet you guys at your home, and I'm going to cover a little bit more of that as we get going. Okay. Then on Thursday and Friday, you will have academics, and those will be slotted scheduled times. And I will go over that a little bit more when we get to that portion of the orientation video. The big thing that I would like to talk about before we get too far into this is everybody should have received this document right here, if it will open. And this was a welcome back checklist that you should have received. If you have not ordered uniforms, I know we talked about this the last time we spoke right before school was out. It was kind of our um, introduction to the school. Please make sure you guys take care of that as soon as possible. It is mandatory that these guys are in uniform every day that they're in here, and we're even going to try to require them to be in uniform while we're doing distance learning as well. The second thing is completing the student forms. And again, like I said, all this is available online on our website, so you can actually go to our website and find most of this information right there. Uh, Please complete these student forms. They're going to be, not only is it going to have all of the contact information, but it's going to be basically your emergency medical form, and it's going to allow you to agree to all the policies and stuff that the school puts forward. Okay, so make sure that hopefully that's done before school, before the 21st of August, or if you don't get it done, at least have it done before the first day of school. The second thing that they wanted you to do is submit a photo for the student ID. Again, that is also a spot on our website that you can get to. And in this video, I will show you where most of this stuff is via the website so that nobody gets confused or everybody can kind of know where they're going as that goes. Okay. The other couple things that I think that are kind of important that I address real quick, um, setting up a fee payment account. Okay. That is not only for our student school fees, but also for lunch. Lunch will be available to lunch and breakfast will be available to all students If they want to get lunch here, we will have a process that they follow every morning when they roll in here. The first week is going to kind of be for the day, and then for the Friday that they'll be here. But the following week, we will already have pre-ordered lunch ahead of time, so that we do not have to worry about nobody forgetting to do lunch or forgetting to order their lunch for that day. But again, you can also pack a lunch, and that's perfectly acceptable too. Okay, but I would get that set up so that when they do order lunch, we're not having to deal with cash. We're not having to deal with paying people here and there. It makes the whole process a lot smoother. If you have to complete the free and reduced lunch application, it's also available online. Please take care of that at your convenience for yourself. There are a lot of student parent orientation videos available on our website right now. And I kind of wanted to leave that till I got to the end. But if you go to our website, which is just SCC, if you just basically do a Google search for Springfield-Clark Career Technology Center, okay, if you guys go, and there's some stuff here at the beginning, and this is basically that thing I was talking about a little bit ago, okay? If you go to students and parents and you go to restart plan, everything that I'm going to be talking about is going to be located in this section, okay? And as you roll down here, there are about 7 videos in here that we would really appreciate it if you guys took the time to watch these. They're not very long, but they're very informative. They're going to cover everything from the daily wellness check to the lunch order, like I was talking about a little bit ago, to our open house, kind of what we're trying to get done with this. They're also going to cover attendance, PPE, our counselors here at the school. If you have questions or concerns about more about the online forms, there's a video dedicated to that. Technology, and then online lunch accounts, like I was explaining earlier, and expectations you expect to see out of the labs for this school year. Okay, so take the time to please watch those videos. They're very informative. It almost feels like a first year teacher again for me because of all the changes that we're going through to make sure that this school year is successful and we can, beat this COVID down and we don't have to worry about it in our lab setting. Okay, this little portion of it's going to cover the schedule a little bit more in depth for the remainder of the time that we're doing this. When your student arrives, there's going to be a couple things they do. One, they're going to arrive one of 3 ways: by bus, by being dropped off, or by driving themselves. If they drive themselves, they're going to park out into the lot right when you pull into the school off of Selma Road. Okay? There's a big giant parking lot right there. They pull in, they can park right there, and we ask students not to enter the building until about 7:42. If they're being dropped off, you're going to kind of go in, you're going to pull in off the Selma Road exit and kind of follow the little loop right around, and they're going to drop them off at a designated drop-off point, but they still have to enter the building through the main doors. So they won't be able to go inside of just any doors. They're going to have to go inside the main doors, which are right at the front of the school, right when you pull in off Selma Road. It's a straight shot. Okay, if they're being dropped off by a bus, the buses will pull into the back parking lot, and the students will enter through the cafeteria. And from the cafeteria, they will either sit and wait socially distanced until it's time to get here if the bus arrives early, or they will come directly to class. Now, every time a student enters the building, we will take their temperature. We will ask that they do a daily wellness check. That's going to be an online form. They can do that before they arrive at school, or they can do that as soon as they arrive and sit down with me inside the lab. Okay. If they're going to bring food and drink, the only thing we ask is if they're going to bring something to drink, it be in a water bottle, not in the Yeti cup, not anything that's not clear plastic. Water bottles will be able to be filled up inside of our drinking fountains. We will not be drinking out of the drinking fountains, but they will be able to fill up a water bottle directly there. But it has to be a clear plastic bottle. This just allows us to know what's in the bottle, and we can monitor and see whatever. We were just told that has to be a clear plastic bottle. We do require every student entering the building at all times to have facial coverings on. So anything from a typical mask that is just a regular covered mask, or one of the gator shielded masks, that is fine. Nothing too. We do not restrict them, but we do not want them wearing respirators, face shields, anything like that. Just a regular cotton mask is fine. We do require that those masks follow the dress code policies here. So nothing political, nothing uh, of sexual orientation, nothing in that nature. So make sure that those are politically correct, as they should be with most school dress. Um, I have listed here at the top of the schedule here, or top of the page here, the actual student schedule. I do want to go over that a little bit more in depth. And again, if you have any questions, I'm available, and I'm going to put all my information here at the end. But feel free to contact me. I have no problems answering emails or answering phone calls. Anything of nature that you have a question with at any time, feel free to get a hold of me or somebody here at the school, and I'll be more than happy to address those. So, for example, all juniors that are associated with my program are going to be what we call Group A students. Okay, so they will arrive on Monday and Tuesday most of the time on campus. This first week being a little bit different. But this first week, they'll arrive on Wednesday and on Friday, because that would be where Group A is on both those days. So what we're trying to do is limit the number of students that are actually in the building at one given time. So hence the reason we're only going Monday and Tuesday for the junior students, and then Thursday and Friday will be primarily for our senior students. So that way there's only one set of hands on the computers that they're going to use until we can actually deep clean the facility, which occurs on a Wednesday. So this upcoming Wednesday, which will be August 26th at 7:42, your students will come in. Okay, we will follow this exact schedule that you see here for Group A, and we will follow the exact same schedule again on Friday for Group A. All right. When they are off campus, they're going to follow the basic schedule that you see for Thursday, Friday. So, for example, let's do Tuesday. Tuesday, your student will arrive on campus at about 7:42. They'll be in my location at 7:50. I'll have them till 11:31. They will then go to lunch, which is directly next door. They'll be in there for about a half hour. As soon as lunch is over, we'll come back and we'll continue for the second part of lab. And the way I'm going to gear that is we're trying to get 5 days worth of career technical education into a 1 week program using 3 days. So the morning part of Tuesday will be one day. The afternoon part of the Tuesday would be like the next day they would come to school. So it's 2 school days wrapped up into one per se. Now we get to Wednesday. Wednesday, they will be online in the morning with me, first things first, just like they would arrive at school, except they're going to arrive at home. Now, this is where we're changing a little bit of what we're doing this year. Last year was kind of more of an emergency reaction. This year, it's more of a proactive plan. Um, Attendance does count. So at 7:50, they should be logged in on their computers, not laying in bed, dressed, nothing going on in the background. Have a nice environment, nice quiet environment. If a quiet environment is hard to get, put headphones on, easier to see. We will require that every student have their camera operating on their Chromebook so that they can see me, I can see them. None of this where they're turning the camera off because they don't want anybody to see them. We're going to expect it to be like they're working from home and then that they're like in a business meeting. So it's going to be a professional set meeting. Attendance does count. So if they're tardy to the online, they're going to be tardy marked in the grade book. So that everything this year is going to be like it would be in the business world. So Tuesday comes and goes. Wednesday they'll be all in their Chromebooks logged on. And we'll be ready to go at 7:50. I'm not going to say it's going to take exactly all the way to 10:43, but we will have enough content for that day to keep them busy. Okay, so then Wednesday morning comes and goes. They have a period for lunch, which is about the same amount of time they would have in a normal given day. Then they would have an intervention from 11:23 to 2:16, and what that kind of means is that they will have time to meet with individual academic instructors that they may have. We will go over that more with the student when they're on campus, but it gives them time to then specific time periods throughout that intervention day to meet with a math teacher, to meet with a government teacher, to meet with their English teacher, Mrs. Harris, who's our embedded instructor. They also have time to do anything with the science or anything that they need to complete. That's going to be a time where they can book inside of that window, that time frame, special one-on-one time with that individual academic instructor. Okay, that's what kind of Wednesday will look like. So then we get into Thursday. At 7:50, they need to be in their first period class, or in this case, for the juniors, their seventh period class. That's why it says academic class seventh. That'll be on their schedule marked as seventh. They will meet with that individual academic instructor at that time. So let's pretend that they have math seventh period on their schedule. They will meet with their math teacher 7:50 to 9:23. They'll be in math class. There's going to be a little time for transition. Okay, they'll probably hop off one Google Meet, go to another Google Meet, and then there'll be an eighth period. Okay, then they're going to have another intervention period to either work on work, get help from an individual instructor, all that good stuff. So then from 11:30 to 12:06, they'll have lunch. And then from 12:11 to 12:46, they kind of have independent time to work on whatever they need to get done. So if they had math homework, good time to do the math homework. And then at 12:46, it says 12:46 to 2:16. They're not going to be in ninth period for almost an hour and a half, but that's when their ninth period will actually take place. Okay, so that will be their 3 academic classes. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that their academic class is not going to run over an hour long. So most of ours are about 45 to 47 minutes long. It's just an extended period of right there. And then when that's done, they're done for the day. So our classrooms on a lab day are going to be all day long. And then on the off days, is Thursdays and Fridays, they're going to be required to be on time to those academic classes, and then those academic classes will happen. Yeah. Okay, the last thing I'm going to try to pop up here is a quick shot of the map for uh, for drop off and for those who are driving. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but you would come in right where it says student parking off of Selma Road, and there's a big giant parking lot here. This is where we would park if we're going to be a driving student. All right, so you'll just come in for the first couple days and find a parking spot, stay there till 7:42. Then you'll walk up to where it says engineering and architecture, auto services and carpentry, and it says main entry. That's the main entry of the facility. So that's where they'll actually walk in. They'll come in right there. They'll be looking for Mr. King. Okay. He will find them and then he'll start directing traffic my way where the temperatures will be taken and then the daily assessment, the wellness assessment will occur. Then they'll come in and get pretty much started in the lab. So they'll cross through building D, building C, and then find their way to me. Okay. If the bus brings you in, you're going to be over here where it says bus drop off in the lower left-hand corner. Okay. They will basically walk up a couple sidewalk paths into building D, which will drop them into the cafeteria. Basically, the back exit from where they were coming in the main exit, they'll all be in the same area. Mr. King, they'll find Mr. King. He'll again direct them towards me. Okay. One big thing I want to make sure I cover is attendance so that all parents hear this and all students do hear this as well. Okay. Attendance is going to be very, very important. Okay. First of all, if you miss a day of school in here, you're actually missing 2 full days of school, and it's almost impossible to make that up. So, if you're feeling bad, stay home. We get that. I will do my best to get the content and to get the lessons to your student the best way I can. If there's a student missing, I will make sure I record most of what we're doing. That way they have access to it at a later time and a later date, and they can make that up. Okay. When they are here, if for whatever reason they do miss and then they come back in, we require every time that your student misses, a parent note is needed. There are 2 things that we need to make sure we do if a student's absent. One, there needs to be a phone call to the school, or you can even hop onto our website, and there's a place in there to report an absence. A phone call or reporting an absence must be done when they're not going to be in school that day. Following up the day after they return, okay, so I'm sick on Monday, I'm back on Tuesday. I need to have a note from a parent saying where I was, or I was at the doctor, or he was sick today. That has to be taken care of within 2 school days of that absence. So if they're absent on Monday, they got to have that note of either the next Tuesday or the next day that they actually attend school. Okay, that has to be in our thing. With the situation we're in, I'm assuming you can write the note down, take a photo of it with your phone, email that into the counseling department or email it to me and I will forward that on. I think they're going to allow some of that to happen this way as well. Same thing has to apply if the student has to leave school early. Okay, this needs to be done at the beginning of the school day. So if your son or daughter is going to have to go to the dentist at 1 o'clock, you have to send a note with them in saying they're going to the dentist at 1 o'clock. That has to be done um, first thing in the morning. They have to take that to the office. If they once that's taken care of, they'll get a note saying, okay, this person's leaving at 1:30. That's fine. If your child happens to be sick or you need to sign them out of school for whatever reason, when you guys are doing your online forms, whoever is going to check that student out must be an approved person on the student online forms. So, I'm going to give you a couple examples. If my son is sick and I sent your son to the nurse says, yes, he has to go home. Somebody's going to come to the school and pick that student up. You're going to have to get to the school, make a phone call saying, hey, I'm at the school to pick up John. Okay, John is now ready. You'll come into the building at that point, and you have to scan your driver's license to pick that student up. That's a safety protocol on our end. If the person you sent to pick up your son or daughter is not on your list of approved people to pick them up, they will not be released to that person. So you need to take that into consideration when you're doing your online forms of who are the approved people to pick the student up from school, because we will scan the driver's license to pick that student up. If they do not have a valid driver's license, they will not be allowed to pick up the student, from what we were told. So anybody picking up a sick kid or anything in that nature needs to have that on their list, and they need to be on the approved list of people to pick up the son or daughter. Okay, the last and final thing for the day. Again, make sure that you take a look at that welcome back thing that was at the beginning of the video. Make sure all that stuff's taken care of. Um, what they need to bring for my classroom is very simple: a pencil, some paper. If they have a thumb drive, that would be awesome. A portable drive. That's about all they need. I take care of pretty much everything else they need. Just remember to be in uniform. Bring a face shield, because you have to have that on at all times. We will have moments where I'm going to let them go outside, get a breath of fresh air after being in a classroom for 6 to 7 hours. We will take time for that. But just know we're doing everything humanly possible to make sure this is a safe transition. The cleaning, the social distancing, there is no reason in my mind that I don't believe that this is going to be a safe and engaging atmosphere for your son or daughter at this point. I'm extremely excited for the school year. It's going to be something new for me. But again, I'm very upbeat. I'm very positive with this whole situation. We'll deal with it as we have to deal with it, like we've done everything else. I thank you for your time. I hope to see you guys Wednesday. And if you guys have any questions, you may direct them to this stuff right here. My email address, I'm going to put it up here. Trying to. My email address is right here. It's ERICBARGE at Springfield-Clark CTC, basically as you see it written out there. The direct line into my classroom is 937-325-7368, extension 185. And the number that you see below there is how you reach me on my digital communicator. Please feel free to leave a message. I am a football coach in the afternoon, so sometimes I don't get the messages till maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, but I will return any calls that are left on either one of those numbers. But again, feel free if you have any questions, any doubts, any concerns, anything major, feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to address those as they come in. And again, I hope you guys have a great year. I hope you had a good summer, and I will see you here in a few days. Have a great night.